Hey, what's going on? I'm Chad. I'm a lead analyst for Blockchain Bulls. As you can see in the picture there, this is the first episode of my new channel, Chad Trades. So we're just going to do it a bit differently this time on this channel, start fresh and hit it. So basically what I'm going to do is give you the insight and the upper hand of what's going on Bitcoin and the crypto market as a whole, fill in the gaps of what I think that the other people on YouTube are completely missing, and that is basically completely based around the principle of what would take the most amount of money from the most amount of people being the highest probability of what's going to happen, and then on the hunt to counter trade the market, basically counter trade the dumb money, the retail, and all that sort of stuff. So jump on board and jump on the winning side, and not be one of those lambs to the slaughter. So you can see that the crypto market's catching a little bit of a bid here. You see a lot of these coins are the ones that were getting heavily shorted. You can see that on Coinalyze here. You can go in and check all the coins, see which ones have been heavily shorted the most, and you'll see that they're the ones that are probably are part of the group that are being bounced on, basically because a lot of the shorts are closing positions, and then a lot of the new and late shorters are getting squeezed out of the market. So without further ado, we'll jump in. Moving on, what I'd like to see first is the Bitcoin price. So bit of a falling wedge here right now. The thing with this is that the saying goes, use a log chart for a bull market and use a linear chart for a bear market. So if we flick it over to linear here, you'll see that it just snugs right nice and tidy in this falling wedge. After they reach about 75% growth, they start the chances of them breaking are exponentially growing daily. And then also the fact is that they have a much higher chance of breaking to the upside. So this thing has an end date of all the way down in a maximum end date of all the way down in September, October. But you can also see things, if it did break to the upside, you can also see things like a retest or even two before moving to the upside of this. And then you've seen that we can easily do these big long wick reversals. They usually are. So come down, just absolutely kill all of the longs, liquidate the fuck out of all of them, and then move back into this pattern. So that's probably what you might see, something like this. That'll go down and reach all these low 20k marks, targets, hit where all the liquidity is. If we flick over to Kingfisher.io, I'll put the referral link in the description. But you can see that there's a lot of liquidations to be had. Actually 600 accumulated long liquidations, the ones that they're just showing 20k at 20k Bitcoin, $6,279 million. So that would fucking that would wreck a lot of people if they didn't have the stop losses, but people would get liquidated regardless, because we can flick over here back onto Coinalyze and see that people do get liquidated. Recently, we've had, since the 26th of May, we've had a accumulation of liquidations that went basically 50 mil in one day with these shorts or these late longers up here. They got absolutely wrecked. That's $50 million to the market, a gift. And then also back here with these big red candles, and then again, so 23 million on that day. This is the hourly, so all this is together. If you flick it over to 1 day, that's where I should have been looking at the start. You see we've been doing some pretty big days still, nowhere near as much as these huge capitulations, but this is still part of the same movement right here. So fuck me, dogs sniffing my leg. I left you downstairs, boy. And so you can see that we've still been wrecking these longs, and the more longs that get wrecked, probably the more of a reset there is, more of a chance that we have to go up as well. But a nice refresh. So liquidations do happen, and these will probably get scooped up soon. You can see that there's a lot that are brewing up in these high 30s, low 30s, so around the 30k mark. You can see like there's a nice little cluster right there of longs that need to be liquidated first before moving up, depending on the strength of the spot market, which I've heard that it's not that strong right now. But I do think that we're going to catch a bit of a bounce here. That is purely on momentum and purely dependent on the weakness of the dollar in this slight downtrend that the dollar's been moving, and also the strength of the stock market, the S&P 500, and the hope that that's not just a complete bull trap at the resistance that it's stuck at right now. We could have a quick little flick over to it. and you'll see that it's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Basically, you've got the US stock market, the S&P 500. This is the hourly chart. We can flick it over on 6 hour and show you the divergence. The 6 hour on the stock market, the S&P 500, you can see that we've got this broadening descending wedge. These things can just walk themselves out for fucking ages, which is probably what's going to happen if the Fed keeps tightening, etc. But you see that we caught a bit of three counts of bullish divergence. So that's what you want to see on a signal to act on. 1, 2, 3 lower lows, 1, 2, 3 higher RSI momentum. But you can see that we got that move, we got that strength coming off 3 counts of bullish divergence. There can be, because it's 3 counts and it's a decent signal, you can see, and also bouncing off the bottom of a trend line, you can see a fair bit of power come from these. But you can see that it'll likely bounce around maybe for the rest of the week. We'll see what happens, but it's sort of stuck between support and resistance right now. So it's got a decision to make. This can either be a bull trap above this resistance line, bait some people in, bait some longs, and then fuck them over, and then Bitcoin and the crypto market will suffer as well. Or it's just gathering strength, poke its way up, find its way to the magnetized, get that 3 count. People start seeing this trend line and acknowledging it, sort of stuff. The reason why we can see a pullback to liquidate all those positions is possibly a potential retest of the breakout of this, the opposite side of the ascending triangle. So usually they break to the downside, but this broke to the upside. We might get a retest here, or just a retest of a different sort of support. It probably needs some sort of retest, maybe something like that. Start baiting a few more shorts in before it goes up. So you can see, if we flick over to CoinGlass, you can see it's pretty 50-50 on the amount of longs to shorts on Bitcoin right now. And then if we also flick over to the funding rate, showing how aggressive the shorts and the longs are, people are betting against it, people are betting for it, you can see that we've been green for a while, which shows more aggressive longing. So more people betting that it's going to continue going up. So a lot of these people, this needs to be reset, even if it's just a small amount. You can see that here we just flash red on the predicted 1 day. That was sort of enough to let a couple of people trying to fade it get wrecked and give it a bit of fuel to go a little bit higher. But as we can see on the actual Bitcoin price, a bit of a rising wedge going on right now. So these have a high percentage chance to break to the downside. And it's also meeting a resistance point at the top right here. So you see this huge resistance head that it's facing, plus a rising wedge, and plus probably bearish divergence. Yep, high, higher high, high, lower high. So you know, that gives it quite a high probability. When's the oh yeah, so the daily candle did just close as well. So that's basically, it's got its green print that it was looking for right there, and then yeah, potentially it all just depends on demand. But like what I was saying is that the basically the majority of people are and have been over the last few weeks accumulating a lot of short positions, and so do you want to be a late shorter, or do you want to jump, spin the wheel and potentially jump on a bounce early on the first higher low, which is what we're looking to potentially make. So we've made a higher high, obviously, and then you know what an uptrend is: higher highs and higher lows. So looking for even this could be it. Sometimes if the market's extremely bullish, you'll see that a bit of sideways action is enough for another up thrust, pending on a lot of factors. But like what we were saying, it'll probably be when a lot of people are starting to get baited into short positions, that's when we get the move up. And yeah, also the options, Maxpay. If we flick to the end of the month, 24th of June, you'll see Maxpay price, most people losing the most amount of money, like we base our whole analysis on, is 35k. So that's above where we are right now, and that works as a magnet to draw people, draw the price higher to make more people get their options wrong. And then to finish off is just a nice little sign of higher price action when you see a YouTuber for example. No disrespect to this guy, because I actually seems like half a decent bloke, maybe. But when you see them start posting stuff like this, capitulating in their own brains, you know, probably bounce time. So that is the end for that. I hope that you've appreciated this different type of analysis, and wasn't too long, but I'll be posting more of these for sure. And if you want to hear more from us, see more from us, come check us out on Blockchain Bulls.